What's going on, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Oh man, we're doing this one a little late. So it's a little bit after 7:30. I just finished the episode. It's a pretty good episode. A lot went on. This was a big episode. Like when I was looking at my notes, I was like, okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pages of notes. 2 of them are front and back, and one is just the front. Front and back. If you're a Friends fan, you get that reference. Front and back. But anyway, oh man. Can y'all believe it's already October? It's October 27th. Friday is Halloween. This year has gone by so fast. So fast. My daughter and I, we're going to spend Thanksgiving because that's coming up. We're going to spend Thanksgiving in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been trying to get to Nashville, Tennessee for a while, so I figured, why not just go up there? They're going to have a turkey trot that day. So we've never done a marathon, so we're going to do that together. And then I ordered our Thanksgiving dinner from Honey Baked Ham. Zap it in the hotel. And then we're probably going to go see Wicked that night. And then I'm going to take her to the African American Music Museum that Friday morning. And we just going to chill. We're just going to chill. We're going to do Thanksgiving our way, I was talking to my daughter about it, and her dad passed away in 2023. So the last Thanksgiving we had, it was our actually first Thanksgiving in this house after we moved from California. We had honey baked ham for our meal because it was just the 3 of us, and it was our first year being here by ourselves with no family. Because I was the one that cooked when we lived in California, so I had to adjust to our new family dynamic and prepare our meal based on that. So fast forward 3 years after that, which is this Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving without him was November of 2023, and we went to Louisiana, but we were with family. So my sister, she lives out there. My mom flew in from LA, and we all met down there, and we parlayed. I drove back. And then last year we were in San Diego for Thanksgiving, with my ex at the time. And then my mom, I went to go pick her up from LA, drove her down. We all had our little Thanksgiving meal. And I said, you know what, this year, Bowie, that's my daughter, we're going to do Thanksgiving our way. My plan is I'm very open about manifesting marriage again. I do want to get remarried. I believe in marriage. I love marriage, but, in God's timing. So until then, though, I was telling my daughter, we can create our own Thanksgiving memories. So that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to head up to Tennessee, kick off literally our first Thanksgiving is just the 3 of us. I say 3 being our dog, too, because she's my little baby. She's my other daughter. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I got to create memories with my baby and just make our own traditions. Can't wait till we can start doing international travel for the holidays, too, because I will start doing that. But we didn't come here to talk about holiday plans and traditions and, recovering from grief and all of that. We didn't come here to talk about that. We came to talk about, sorry, y'all like my hair. I got it twisted. Neurodivergent. Keep up. Y'all know what it is. But anyway, I got it locked up. So I was thinking about getting permanent locks because I've been thinking about doing that in my 40s. I'm 41. So I had made a commitment to cut out certain things in my 40s and then adopt new things. And locks was supposed to be one of the things I embraced. But I had sent a text message to my sisters and my mom in our thread, a picture of my afro for the last time, right? My older sister responded, oh, you're going to get the permanent locks? And y'all, when I read that word permanent, I was like, yes. So then I changed my mind. I said, I don't know. So I did something that's kind of semi-permanent. So it's a wrapping method where she takes the hair and then she takes some distressed hair and then she wraps it around the root of the braid and over the hair. So my hair is braided under there and then it's like locked in, like wrapped in, I mean, not locked. But she has to take it out, the person that did it. So I can't just take it out on my own because I'm going to damage my hair. So that's why I say it's semi-permanent. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. So yeah, got my braids. I'm a braid girl, Speaking of that, I'm going to touch on that later because I saw a couple of heads in this episode and I was like, who did your braids? You on national TV? Whew, we need Candace back at least for that. Candace's braids used to be laid. I will give her that. Okay, but I've been talking for 5 minutes and not about the episode. So let's just get into the episode, okay? All right, so season 10, episode 4. All right. It's called oh no, I don't know the title. I'll put the title in the description. But Tropic something. Anyway, so they pick up where they left off from last week. They're on their way to the Preakness in the van. And Kiarna. Let me just explain my position on how I see Kiarna. Because Kiarna, I think, is 38. I'm 41. Okay. And like I said last week, I'm from the hood. All right. She makes me uncomfortable because Kiarna has not graduated to the point of communicating like a grown woman. She communicates like a grown girl. Her energy when she's in conflict is just, the tone is just very like between the ages of, I want to say 17 to like maybe 23. Like it's the like the nervousness, like you could tell she doesn't handle conflict that well. And it's making her come off very problematic. Almost as if she's not a good fit in the group. Which I hate to say that because I'm not about, excluding people or, looking down on people, but the energy I'm used to in these housewives, right, is, yes, I've seen some aggression. I've seen it. And Monique Samuels is a prime example of that. That's my girl. I like Monique. What Monique did in season 5, some people don't agree with. I don't agree with, but I understood where she was coming from because Monique, that was just a buildup, right? But Kiarna, I'm looking at a little bit of insecurity. I'm looking at, like I said, she doesn't handle conflict that well. And she just makes me uncomfortable in how she communicates. Because she was like super aggressive, assertive. And I guess she might be trying to call out like hypocrisy or fake phony, like she says. But I just feel like there's a way to do it in this environment. This is not baddies. This is not Love and Hip Hop. This is Real Housewives of Potomac on Bravo Network. Now, I say that because I'm an old school Housewives watcher. I have been watching since 2007. And there has always been like this just grown woman energy. The only, like, Tamra kind of came in and changed things around on Orange County, bringing all the drama in. But even like the way that drama was handled, it was just different. I don't know. Kiarna, she just represents not what I would want to see in a housewife. I just don't like it. She's gorgeous. Girl is fine. I'll give her that. Face card, do not decline. That girl is fine, beautiful. But that inside, the communication style, I'm just like, girl, Anyway, so Kiarna's being aggressive. Like I said, it picked up where they left off, and she's making a comment towards Stacy about don't touch me and this hoe over here, and like, what she said. And Stacy says it in her confessional. Kiarna just wants to have an issue with me. She's just so aggressive. She hates me. I mean, I've never been around someone that just hates when I breathe. Yes, it's like, God, there's just ways to deal with people that you don't like, especially, if you're being paid and going on trips. I like nice nasty. I get turned on by nice nasty. I could do nice nasty all day. That's why I can't deal with that. Like, I could do passive aggressive. I could do the smart ass comments, the slick remarks. I could do that. But this, I can't hang. Nope. Takes me back to a place that I don't want to be in anymore. So anyway, so Kiarna, she's passing out everybody the $20 from the money that Greg gave her in the last episode. And when it comes to Stacy, she's like, you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna get any. You got to shake your ass a little bit or whatever. So Stacy's trying to twerk and it doesn't quite work. You know, she's a little stiff. I can dance a certain way. I'm not like a dancer either. So I can sympathize with Stacy on that because I can move. You know, I can move, but I'm not like a choreographed like dancer. So yeah. So then Wendy and Giselle, the girls get up after Kiana gives them their money. They go over to, I guess, the betting machine, and Kiana's giving them a tutorial and showing them how they're supposed to bet their money. And then Giselle and Wendy are sitting back, and Wendy makes a comment to Giselle, "Oh, mention my name, watch my name get discussed or something like that by Angel. She could talk about me for about 7 minutes or whatever." So Wendy's picking up on what Angel's throwing down, and I see it too. Basically, Angel has an issue with Wendy by way of Kiana. She don't have a true issue with Wendy. Wendy hasn't really done anything to her that we don't see. We may not have the full context, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like Angel is coming in to fight the battle for Kay, you know, because that's her friend of 20 years. Which, you know what, it might be hard to go onto a platform with your friend and try to like mesh with everybody else but still have that loyalty to your friend. That could be that could cause what's going on right now if not handled properly. There should be, like, if I were Kay and Angel, I just would handle it differently. Like, my best friend, if we went on a show like this, we would have extensive conversations. Like, honestly, they could take notes from Robin and Giselle. Robin and Giselle were solid. We didn't like that, no doubt. I couldn't stand it. I thought it was toxic. But one thing I will say is they never argued in front of people. They never, they were always a united front. Let's just say that. Anyway, so Stacy comes back and to sit with Giselle and Wendy. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. So Wendy mentioned that Angel did not graduate from school because something went down. What went down, I don't know. But I was watching her and Giselle's facial expressions, and Giselle's taking cues from Wendy, which is crazy because they didn't get along. And so it looks like they're trying to, like, I guess, throw to each other, okay, we need to press Angel a little bit more because she's not who she seems to be. So back to Stacy walking over. Stacy walks over. They're like, "Oh, you didn't bet?" She's like, "No." She was trying to give a tutorial, Kiana. And I just figured I would put this in my pocket. I put that 20 in my pocket. I know how to stay rich. I'm not going to gamble my money. Yes, Stacy, I feel the same way. I don't understand how people gamble. I really don't. Like, Vegas, for me, it's a bust. I could go for the drinks, the partying, and all of that, but when it comes to gambling, I'm like, it makes no sense. I'd be ready to fucking burn the casino down if I lose like $10. So I don't understand how people can just literally lose your money to a machine. I just don't get that. But there are people who like to gamble, so. But I'm with Stacy. I want to keep my fucking money. The hell shit. So anyway, so so they're all getting ready for their lunch now. So all the girls come back to the table after placing their bet to sit down and eat. So then Stacy asks questions about Ashley and Giselle's dating, you know, because Stacy's like, well, everybody want to be up in my business. What's going on with you guys? And I guess they didn't say anything. Oh, okay. So, yeah, Angel. Giselle said that Angel has somebody that for her, and then they ask who's the person, and then they describe Giselle's type. Is he bald? Yes. Is he chocolate? Yes. So, Angel is doing her work for Giselle. But this is the part where I was like, I think I'm going to like Tia. Tia, all right with me. She a slow burn. So I didn't need to take notes on this one because I remembered it. It was embedded in my head because this is the type of grown woman shade, nice, nasty I'm talking about that I like. Like I'm getting turned on now talking about it. All right, so Ashley brings up that she called them while they were all at the boutique. Them being Kiarna. Hold on, let me take it back. Them being Tia, Wendy, Giselle, and Angel. Okay. So Ashley tells Tia, and I know it was Giselle that told her because I looked at Giselle's face and it's just obvious. Ashley asked Tia, she's like, well, when I called all the four of you to invite you to something, it was brought back to me, Tia, that you said I was rude. And Tia was like, yeah, it is kind of rude because you're inviting us and we're all around each other and you're inviting people and you don't even know if the people that you don't want to invite are there. So I just think it's rude. If you're going to place an invite to someone, make sure that everyone that you're going to invite is in the room. Otherwise, it just comes off rude. I mean, she says something to that effect. I'm trying to do her accent. So then basically for Tia, she's like, she acknowledged it. Like, okay, yeah, I said it because I think it's rude. Mm-hmm. So then Ashley being Ashley does this thing where she tries to spin the block a little bit to kind of get you again. And she's like, well, how is it rude if I didn't know you guys were on the phone or something she said. This is where Tia got me. She said, I don't know what you're not grasping. Keep up. I apologize. I told you I thought it was rude. Now, if you think it was rude, I apologize, but I'm not going to keep going in the mud with you. You can keep digging, but I'm not going to get in the mud with you. Then she said, now, Giselle, I do have a problem with you. And then she's like, me? She said, yeah. You told me that Ashley, when I first came into the group, would fancy me, and I haven't even seen any of that. No touch on the bum or anything. So she threw the shade, and then she spun the moment back into something light and funny for everybody. That is how you housewife shade, Kiarna, okay? None of this heavy hood energy that you bring into the screen, okay? We don't like it. Us old school women, you know, us aunties that grew up a little bit, that's been watching since the beginning of time, this energy you bringing in is for this new generation, which I get, but we don't like it. I don't like it. But Tia, that was genius. Chef's kiss. I loved it. So then she tells Tia tells Ashley, it wasn't shade what I said. It was tongue in cheek. And then Kiarna, what's tongue in cheek? And I know why she's asking. This is what these hood girls be doing. So they call themselves trying to be cute and make you look stupid, but they ask you, you know, in front of people thinking you can't explain it. And of course, Tia was able to explain it, but I don't feel like Kiarna was asking just because she genuinely wanted to know. Maybe she did. Maybe there was a little bit in that, but she was trying to put Tia, I felt, on the spot. I just don't see it for Kiarna, if y'all can't catch that right now. I don't see it for her. Gorgeous girl. Girl is beautiful. We ain't taking that away from her. But that energy, I don't vibe with women like that. I see right through her. I can't do it. All right, so Jossie walks in. Now, Jossie was the lady that met with Stacy for lunch. I think it was last week or the week before. And she was on last season as a friend of. Now, let me just give you a little backstory on her before I get into this next thing. So Jossie had a situation, well, has, because she's since married the man, where she was with someone that had a little bit of an overlap with other women. I think it was either two women or the same woman. And he fathered 2 children outside of their relationship. Now, they were, you know how people are talking casually or whatever, and they're building up towards something, and then you got one person that's probably dating other people, which in this case, I think it was him, and it happens. But this is why you got to be disciplined in this whole situationship crap, because here's the lady that had kids with this man, and he didn't marry Jossie. So I don't know. This is why I keep it casual and I don't just sleep with people. Because it's a shame, you know. I can't even really say Jossie won. Even though she got the ring, look what happened. I know there's probably going to be strain because those kids are all under like 3. They're babies. So unless homegirl is truly accepting of everything, or he's handling his situation very mature, making sure everybody respects each other, I don't see any good coming out of that. I don't. But hey, at least Jossie has standards for herself. Nigga, you need to put a ring on it. So I'll give her that. But anyway, so she comes in and she has a friend with her. They never introduced the friend, so she barely made a splash. But Jossie does. And so she sits at the table. Angel is a fellow wife and girlfriend of a ball player or whatever. And so they're talking. Angel mentions how she asked Stassi how long her fiance at this time has been playing. And her fiance has been playing for 7 years. And then same thing for Angel. How long has your guy been playing? Angel made it a point to say 10 years starter or whatever. Now, I don't know these positions, so shoot me in the foot. But Wendy picked up on how Angel was possibly trying to highlight that Jossie's man is at a certain level in the league compared to her husband. Now, she even says that in the confessionals. Angel, later down the line. I'm going to touch on that later, but I didn't see it at the time at the table when they were having the conversation, but later on in the episode, when Wendy brought it back up, then I was like, okay, I can see that because Jossie is also someone that Kay has a problem with. So I don't know, man. This episode had me flip-flopping a little bit with some of my people, like Angel being one of them, because I want to give Angel grace, but Angel needs to step away from Kiarna because, yeah, that's your friend. But your friend is a certain caliber of a woman, and you got to be real with yourself on that. I'm sorry. So if you are going to immerse yourself in this group, right, you have to be willing to break away from her and get to know everybody, like, truthfully. And don't come in with the intention to fight her battle because you're just going to dig yourself an early grave, which is already happening because, like last week, they were whacking her again this week. Angel was getting hazed. But she brought it on herself. So, Wendy, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. So they get up from the lunch table, and this is when they go outside now to watch the horses. So Ashley asked Kay if she has an issue with Jossie. I guess she read her face or whatever, and the energy shifted. And then, Kay says that she was told that Jossie was talking mess about her. And then Kay says that Wendy was the one that told her. And then Kay, again, the energy, tries to bring it up to Wendy. Wendy notices that the first lady is there, so she shuts it down. She says, let's be classy. Let's calm it down. First lady's here, and then we can get back to it. Goes over to hug the first lady, who does not want to be on camera. There was actually a caption says, does not want to be a Housewife of Potomac camera next to her face. I was like, oh, that's funny. But anyway, so then after she does that, she returns to it. Wendy explains to, was it Jossie? Oh, no, she tells Kay, she says, okay, remember when we were on the phone? She's talking to Jossie. And I had asked you about the NAACP awards, and I asked you if, you were going and whatever about Kay or something like that. And then Jossie made like a sound or whatever. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she was saying she had a problem with her. So then Jossie says that too. She says, okay, making a gesture and having beef are two different things, because Kay approached Jossie with, I heard you had a beef with me. So then they're going back and forth. And let me see. Oh. So then Jossie's like, because they're going back and forth. She's like to Kiarna, I know you're dealing with a lot with Greg. And then that puts Kiarna off. She's like, what you mean? I'm not dealing with anything. You the one that's a side chick that married a dude that had 2 babies on you. And I was like, oh. Dang, Kiarna, did you have to hit her like that? I mean, I don't like Kiarna, but hey, she did hit Jossie with the gut punch. Because what you mean I'm dealing with a lot? Yeah, but we ain't married, but hey, I'd rather this be going on than that be going on. Because at least my man has 3 kids from a previous relationship that are over the age of 5. Your man had kids on you while you guys recording and there was overlap and he was smashing 2 women. You just happened to get the ring. So I don't know. It just depends on your perspective. Do you feel like Kiana won? Did you feel like Jossie won? Or do you feel like neither of them won? I don't know. It just depends. So then Jossie says, don't be mad. She just mad because I would be mad if I was in a small condo too and he ain't even pay for it. So I'm like, oh, they are going low. So they're pulling Jossie away because it's getting heated. And yeah, I'm just looking at Kay's expression. She's like, don't take me off my square. I'm doing good. I'm in my element right now. I'm like, just real, like, just all over the place. The energy is just manic and aggressive. And I'm just going to need her to woo-saw. I'm going to need her to woo-saw. I wouldn't feel this way if had I not known Kiana's been on this show now for 3 seasons. Season 8, she was a friend of. Season 9, she was an official housewife. Now she's an official housewife. Her 2nd season. There should be a little decorum, a little practice. I mean, not that you got to practice and be fake, but mature women understand that you have to put on different hats and wear different faces for different experiences in life. You can show up as your essential self, right? Your energy, your essence could exist no matter what hat you're in, but you have to be able to take off and put on multiple hats. And so, like I said, her energy is just not becoming of a housewife. I'm sorry. I don't feel her, y'all. Maybe it'll change. All right, so next scene, just a little short scene of everybody preparing for the trip, getting their stuff together. They flash on Angel going through her things. Ashley's picking out some stuff with her stylist or whatever, which I was looking at her closet. I was like, girl, you couldn't put a picture up or organize your shoes. Your closet look a hot mess. Don't you live in like a $2 million house? My closet's more organized than hers. But anyway, the smallest things I've noticed. All right, so airport arrivals for the trip. So they all arrived to the airport. Now, Jossie got a last minute invite. This is why I think she got a last minute invite. I think, hold on, it's my daughter. Yes, baby.
Coco betrayed me. Hello.
My daughter knows give me a kiss. She knows I do these videos. And she always likes to come in and make a cameo. Don't knock the camera, girl.
Knock something.
You taking her?
No, she's running from me.
Girl, I got to finish this.
I'm sorry, but they have to see the other baby.
Oh, yeah, those are my girls. That's my Coco Bean, and that's my daughter, Bowie.
Love you.
I love you, too. Girls, I'll finish up.
You better.
All right, close the door.
You know what? I'm going to eat your toes tonight.
They crusty. But let me Bye. Hey. We live over here, and I'm not editing any of that out. I don't do any of that editing crap right now. Maybe my production value will go up next year, 2026. But we keeping that in there, all right? We keeps it real. All right, so back to the airport arrivals. So, like I was saying, I feel like Jossie was a last-minute invite, for sure. Because Giselle has a job to do. And with Karen not being here, Giselle's job is a lot more pressing. She has to put things into overdrive to move the story along and keep the drama going, right? So this is my theory. I think Giselle peeped game at the Preakness and was like, oh, let me invite Jossie. She can make this trip interesting. And this is why Jossie got an invite last minute. Not that she was trying to incorporate Jossie and celebrate her and have a little bachelorette thing for her, like she says in the episode. No, that was a producer move if I know it. I've been watching this show long enough to pick up on game. Because when they're all flying, everybody is in first class. Jossie's in economy. And I made note. Let me see. So, when they got off the plane, right? Now, this first timestamp I had, I'm probably going to say maybe a good 15, 20 minutes had already gone by and the ladies have gotten off the plane. So the ladies are already on the bus waiting to, go to their next destination or whatever, because they have to land on the island and then get on the boat to go to the next island. So they've already done what they need to do. Now, like I said, this was 15 minutes before this first timestamp. First timestamp, 1:24 p.m. Still no Jossie. Second timestamp, 1:35 p.m. Still no Jossie. Third timestamp, 1:46 p.m. Jossie comes. And as they're waiting on her, they keep saying, did she come off the plane yet? Did she come off the plane yet? Girl, the cleaning crew's going on. She ain't got off the plane yet. So that's why I'm like, I know it was a last minute decision. Production hadn't even factored her in, but because she made such a splash at that Preakness event, Giselle probably talked to them and was like, hey, let's bring her. Because again, with Karen being gone, there's only so much Ashley and Giselle can bring to the table. And so they're putting all the new girls to work. They're like, all right, well, you guys do it. We ain't got to fight. We ain't got to fight. Because if Karen was on the show, her and Giselle, Karen would be going back and forth in the most diplomatic, grand damish way with everybody. She would have a little something to say to everybody. And it would just be a show. So I can't wait till she comes. All right, so they arrive to where they're boarding the plane, where they're going to, not plane, I'm sorry, their boat. And they have drinks and snacks, so they're drinking their Voob and they're talking. And Ashley asks everyone if there are any goals that they want to achieve while they're on this trip. And then Angel says that she's looking forward to everyone getting to know her and she wants to get to know everyone else. Stacy says that she reached out to Angel, like she makes this in her confessional, pointing out that she actually has tried to get to know Angel separately, but Angel didn't receive her. And Stacy says she did that because she wished someone would have done that for her last season, because that was her inaugural season. That was her first season. No one extended, the olive branch. So, Angel's saying that she wants to get to know her, but, when she tried to take the opportunity to introduce herself, Angel didn't take it. So Stacy's basically calling Angel out for her hypocrisy, because we're all starting to see what it is with Angel and why she's so off-putting to certain people. Anyway, so Giselle brings up the impromptu bachelorette party. That's why she told everybody to bring a sexy lingerie outfit. And then I think it's the flight attendant or someone came over to them to let them know that Angel's bag was illegal, because apparently you can't have camouflage where they are. And so Tia, being the gracious, friend that she is, tells Angel that she can put her bag inside of her bag so that the camouflage is covered up. And Ashley's like, you didn't read the no? Who didn't read the email? Oh my God, Angel. And I'm like, oh, she just is not doing herself any favors. And then Ashley tried to ask Tia, again, Ashley, you're not going to get Tia. She's on it. She's like, you brought an extra bag? Why do you have an extra bag? And why is it empty? And she's like, so that in case I want to bring some stuff back, I have room. You don't do that? And I'm just like, Ashley, you might want to back off of Tia, because this is just light and you poking. All right, so Wendy asks Stacy if she sucks balls. Let's just came out of nowhere, because they were talking about how some meatballs or some balls are really good. And then Stacy in her confessional is like, Wendy, why would you ask me that? You're an academic. And then she's like, well, shoot, should I be doing it? And they're like, yeah. And that's probably why you got divorced. And then Tia, oh God, Tia in her confessional, she's like, oh, because Stacy said that I don't look like I do something like that or something like that. And then Tia's like, well, you wouldn't look at me and think that's, I'm a ball licker or whatever, but I would never tell anyone. But that doesn't, like, something to the effect, but that doesn't mean I don't do it. I'm quiet. I'm unexpected. And I'm like, I know, right? It's usually the ones that are the quiet or the academics. Like, Stacy said, or the ones that you least expect that are the biggest freaks. I'm sex positive, so I'm all for it. And I have that theory that people like that who are kind of cerebral are freaks because they're in their mind. So they're probably thinking about how can I please you? And then if you are really like about the person or in love with them, like you be tearing them up. Don't ask me how I know, okay? I've been celibate since December, so sorry if I throw the little hornball comics out there. What do you want? Go sit down, please. Here, just show me your sweater. Okay. My dog. All right. Okay, Boogie. Go sit down, okay? Coco, go. All right. So anyway. So, all right. The balls, academic, all that. So, who commented? Oh, now they're getting on the boat. So they're leaving that area where they were sitting at preparing for the boat. They get onto the boat. And somebody highlighted, I forget who it was, that they were on their 4th bottle of Vouv now. I was like, ooh. And then Ashley's like, well, just get into it. Don't count the bottles. Just have fun. And so they toast to the trip. And then it's also Wendy's birthday week. So it's the day after her birthday, which I'm assuming is May 22nd or 23rd. Because Wendy's birthday is May 21st. So they're filming this circa May 22nd, May 23rd. And then Giselle brings up that to Jossie, because she's like, yeah, let's toast to you, Jossie, because I just want to make sure you good on this trip, because there were some people who didn't want you on this trip. And then she throws out there that it was Angel and Kiarna that didn't want her on the trip. Side note, I did not know that Jossie was also an AKA, because Giselle mentioned that Jossie is a fellow soror. I know Wendy is a soror, so I guess when Giselle identifies an AKA, she gravitates towards them. I mean, she did, but then Wendy got her together, and it was DEFCON 4 for about 4 seasons. So if you don't challenge Giselle and you're a soror, she'll love you. All right, so when she says that, so they're Angel saying, I don't remember saying I don't like her and I didn't want her to come or whatever. And then, of course, Kiarna's owning that, she does have issue with Jossie. And then Tia, I noticed on the side, she's like, well, maybe you did explain it and Giselle just didn't listen. Yes, Tia, don't be afraid to call this woman out, because Giselle is a hot mess. We've all gotten to know her. She has blatantly admitted this season she is a shit stirrer. She will make stuff up just for the sake of a story. So, with her, anything goes with Giselle. It's what it is, right? All right, so, Kay says this, and I get triggered whenever Kay is describing her position in conflict. She said, I just don't want to be fake and phony. That's why I said it. That's why I'm admitting it. And I'm just like, y'all already know what it is with Kay for me. Girl, level up. Get your vibrational level up. You know what I mean? Like, beautiful girl. I'm always going to say that. I ain't hating on the girl. But that energy, hood rats can be glamorous too, okay? Anyway. So, all right. So, Jossie says that when Kiarna says she didn't want to be fake, now Jossie retorts with, well, if you don't want to be fake and phony, why don't you say what you said about Wendy? And so Wendy's primed, and she's like, what do you mean? What's the timeline? So apparently 6 months prior to this situation, Jossie and Kiarna were talking. And I guess Kiarna was venting her frustrations about Wendy to Jossie. Now, I can see why Wendy might be a little bit more offended by Kiarna's exchange versus Jossie, because Kiarna and Wendy had a pre-existing friendship. I know there was something mentioned last season about them knowing each other for 5 years or whatever. Jossie's a newbie. So Jossie, you know, if she's talking mess on anyone, you just don't let it ride off the back. But if you have pre-existing relationships with people and you're already getting a reputation to talk bad about them, and then you're holding her to a standard saying she's not a good friend, again, it negates your issue, Kiana. You are just as fake and phony as you say these women are that you talk about. That's what I'm saying. It's that grown girl energy. It's like, what issue do you really have with me? And is it a valid issue with me? Or is it an unchecked issue with you when you're around me? We can't carry on people's burdens, y'all, and their triggers. Kiana need to just level up within herself. I'm not liking it. Anyway, so let's see. Oh, so then they're going back and forth now. Jossie and Kay, and it picks up. Kay calls Jossie a side chick. Jossie says, no, I'm actually a fiance, something you will never be. And I know that's a sore spot for Kiana because Kiana does want to get engaged to Greg. So these girls are like pulling no punches on each other. They're not holding back. And what I'm witnessing between Jossie and Kiana is you have two women who were basically in the same position. I mean, Kiana was a full-time housewife last year, and Jossie was a friend of. However, when it comes down to who has the true makings to be a housewife, Jossie has more of that. Jossie comes from money. Her family actually has a vineyard. She's an international flight attendant. She's married to a football player. Like she has, and then she does have that kind of like dramatic backstory with her boyfriend, well, her husband now and his babies. Whereas Kiana, you know, hey, I like beautiful girl. I'm gonna always say that, beautiful lady. But she doesn't really have much going for her. And she owns a med spa, and she's with a dude that she wants to get married to, and he's not ready to get married, and he has 3 kids before getting with her. It's because of the way Kiana was brought onto the show. Kiana got into a physical altercation, for those who don't know, season 8, with one of Ashley's friends. So I'm assuming so that she wouldn't sue the network, and for them to protect their place, they offered her a role on the show to make up for what happened to her in season 8. So she wasn't even really brought on via her own merit. She was brought on as, let's cover our asses with this one. And I'd be surprised if she actually makes it to next season. So we'll see. So Kiana's got a little sensitivity, and that's why I'm picking up on the insecurity as to how she was brought into this group. She may not feel like she fully belongs. And truth be told, she doesn't. I'm watching how she acts. She does not fit in with these women. Anyway, so then now Wendy calls out Angel for that position comment she made earlier in the episode regarding the position her husband played versus Jossie. And so Wendy's like, so I don't know if y'all caught that, but I caught the shade in what she was saying. Hold on, my daughter's making another introduction.
Want some ramen?
No, I don't. And can I finish this video? I'm not trying to be doing a 2-hour video.
Sure you don't want to bite?
No, I want a kiss.
This is
No, I said a kiss.
This is the kiss.
I said a kiss. All right, now get out of my room before you make me mad.
Coco, help me.
No, seriously, boy, it's 43 minutes and I need to finish.
Oh!
Yeah,
You
come on.
told me that first.
No, I couldn't have.
Yes, you could.
This girl, like I said, I ain't cut none of that out. Fully unedited, raw, unfiltered, live, and direct. Yes, baby girl made a cameo, and my dog is sitting right there. Anyway, so where did I leave it? I'm reading my notes too, y'all, so my bad. But oh, okay, so back to the position thing. So Angel's like, oh, okay, I wasn't trying to be shady or whatever, and blah blah blah. Goes to the confessional. The producer asks Angel in that scene, the confessional, are there basically like levels? Were you trying to throw an insult, or should like is Jossie's dude in a lower? Well, I forgot what he asked, but what Stacy's not Stacy. I'm sorry. What Angel said was, well, let's just say there are different levels of players, but every player brings something different to the team. I was like, okay, good one, Angel. I know what you were saying. Yes, there's your Tom Brady's. There's LaDainian Tomlinson's. There's your what's his name? Kelsey, the guy that's dating Taylor Swift. Oh, Travis Kelsey, yeah. Who else is a big player? Shit, I'm gonna start throwing out some old names. I don't know who's the current like top people now, but yes, I get what she was saying. So apparently Jossie's man is like a practice player. So he's not even really like in that like of the you basically, if you said his name, you'd be like, who? You really gotta be digging in the roster to see who he is. I think he was playing for the Kansas City Chiefs when they won the Super Bowl. But one of my favorite YouTubers, shout out to you, Gabor, he made this distinction. He said, yeah, I saw Jossie and her man take pictures at the Super Bowl, but he didn't even have on a jersey. So I was like, yeah, so is he really? Anyway, aside from getting off track, but yeah, Angel was getting it. So you got Wendy calling her out for that comment. Then, let's see. Oh. So then they're, oh, okay, so that's this boat. So I'm sorry, I'm behind and I'm kind of trying to keep track. So they're still on the boat after the whole player position comment. Angel and Kiana are visibly upset because Kiana just got into it with Jossie on the boat, and then Angel's called out by Wendy on the boat. The ladies, they go from the below deck and they go up top, you know, to kick off the trip. They're all dancing up there. Why Kiana and Angel stay downstairs? Because Kiana says she needs a minute to get back to it. You know, when she's out of it, she needs about 5 minutes to herself. Okay, Angel, you too? Why you need 5 minutes? You see what I'm saying? So it's like she has given away, basically their plan is for them to band together, which I get, but if you're going to do it really smartly, there should have been a conversation. Like, we stand together, but, you know, if we need to split off, we split off. That's what Giselle and Robin would do. They would split off, and you would think that, okay, well, Robin's, you know, going along to get along in this area, and Giselle's going along to get along in this area, which they would be doing, but then they would come back together. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, y'all. Like, get your strategy together. Get your strategy right. And Angel, if you are following Kiana for direction, I think you might want to take control because homegirl is not leading you down the right path, okay? All right, so they get off the boats. Now they're on the golf carts to get to their rooms because it's a big resort. They're at the resort now. And then Giselle is making a comment about Angel's Instagram photos because I guess Angel overly applies filter to her photos, almost to where it doesn't even look like her. And y'all, I actually follow Angel. They need to stop. Angel don't Photoshop all her photos. But again, she's the chosen one to get hazed. So, all right. So they get to this next scene. And now they're assigning rooms. So room assignment goes like this. You have Jossie, Wendy, and Stacy in one villa. Tia gets her own villa, the nanny quarters. And then you have Ashley and Giselle together. And then you have Angel and Kiana together. So everybody gets to their room. Everybody got a cute little robe with their name on it. And then they got a little hygiene bag with their initials on it. And then they got a special note handwritten by Giselle welcoming them to the trip. Everybody but Stacy. Literally, Giselle is nasty work. Let me just say that because she even made it a point to give one to Stassi. Not Stassi, Jossie. Stassi is from Vanderpump Rules. Shout out to you, Stassi. My bad, girl. Wrong racial group to bring you up in. Anyway, so Giselle is nasty work because here you go, inviting Jossie last minute, not even a full time cast member, right? You went out of your way to not do this intentionally for Stacy, which is unfortunate for me because the beef or issue you have with Stacy is nothing. The only thing I see is jealousy because Stacy inadvertently came onto the scene, became a fan favorite, even with the scandal, because it's not even real scandal, y'all. It's just her telling a white lie to secure her spot, and a lot of them do it. Giselle's done it too. Yet, you feel like Stacy should be held to a certain standard. And that's not cool. We see you, Giselle. But see, here's the thing. We know Giselle. So Giselle does shit like this. So it doesn't anger me. It doesn't inflame my emotions as much as it used to back in the day. But I see you, Giselle. I see what's going on. I'm getting notifications. I'm recording on my phone, so I get distracted when they just pop up. All right, so Giselle says that in her confessional that her and Stacy are at a quandary because she feels like she doesn't know Stacy, so that's why she did that. These are symbolic and sentimental. Why would she give something to someone that she's not connected with? And you're connected with Stassi? Sorry. Keep calling her Stassi. You're connected with Jossie? You're connected. You're not. I mean, Angel? I mean, she's a full-time cast member, but Stacy is too. You haze an Angel, but you got her one. So again, we see you, Giselle. We see you. Anyway, so Angel says that she's talking to Kiana. So she says that Wendy didn't greet her at the airport, and like it seems like everybody is going out of their way to misunderstand her and not welcome her, right? Now, they flash back to a scene. Now, I didn't see Wendy greet her, but I did see Giselle greet her. I saw Stacy greet her. I saw Ashley greet her. So you can't say they're not welcoming you. They are trying to embrace you, but they see that you're so tethered to Kiana. They're just trying to figure out, okay, how do we get in that thing? You know, you so tethered to your friend. Can we get close? Is there room for us? Shit. All right, so, oh, and then I put here, Angel is falling on the sword for her friend, because she is. She is. Now we get to a scene, pre-dinner scene. So you have Ashley walking into Giselle's, oh, well, they're sharing villas, I forgot. Giselle actually looked cute. I like the dress, and I like the gold shoes, and I like the hair. Giselle looked cute. Ashley, I wasn't really feeling that look. And them braids, you and Jossie. Who the hell did y'all braids? Y'all should have went and got a professional. Maybe they did, and maybe they just don't take care of them. Because I am a braid aficionado. I have been wearing braids since I was like 10 years old. I'm 41, and I've worn all types of braids. Cornrows, passion twists, boho twists, box braids, micro braids. I mean, you name it. I have worn them all right? So I am very, I won't say critical, but I do like look at people's braids and I'm like, so, you know, with them being on television, the flaws are magnified. And I'm just like, if you're going to get people to do your braids, make sure they look good or you taking good care of them. Like I said, Candace and Monique too. Monique used to, oh my God, her hair. Ugh. And Candace's braids, that's how you rock braids. All right, so this pre-scene. So we got Ashley and Giselle, like I said, and then you go to Tia. Tia calls her friend, her family. So her not oldest daughter, Alexis is the daughter below the oldest. She turned 14. So she had a birthday party, and Tia missed it because she's on that trip. And she said 2 years ago when the queen passed away that I guess she was coming back from England and all flights had stopped. So she was, you know, like, oh my God, I'm going to miss my daughter's birthday because it was around that time. And she says she accepted that, okay, maybe I'll miss a birthday or two because her daughters were okay. All she needed was her friends and her gifts, and she didn't really need her mom to be there. And then Tia jokes that, okay, maybe I'll start traveling every year on her birthday, but she wasn't serious. What was cute was as she was talking to her son. Her son is the only boy. And he said that he wanted to be adopted out because they made him clean up on his birthday, but nobody else helped him, and he had to help them clean up on his birthday. And so Tia made a point that her husband said that they're too soft on him, and he doesn't want him to grow up to be a mama's boy. And Tia, she's like, well, they live in the suburbs. How hard do you want me to be? And the father is coming from a place of, well, I was raised on the south side of Chicago, so we need to incorporate a little bit more so that we can toughen him up. All right, so I'm kind of all over the place with this one. Sorry, my nose ring. So I get where he's coming from. I get it because I was raised on the south side of Chicago. There is a certain like disposition you adopt when you grow up in that environment. It's a very harsh environment, lots of gang activity, shit, teenage pregnancies, fighting, drugs. I mean, it was like, what was that movie Lean on Me? Oh, worse. It was worse than that. So I get where he's coming from. But then I also get where Tia is coming from. We do better so that our kids could have better. So we have to find a way to marry both of that, meaning this is a little black boy that has a little bit more privilege than you had. And so we can incorporate your way of living with the way he's living. And father, I get you, but we're not supposed to project our traumas onto our children. Because yes, we can compare our childhoods to theirs and be like, well, shit, I had it like this. You should. No, you've done your job as a parent. You're supposed to do better so that you can do better for them. Now, Tia, what I do agree with him on is black mamas are notorious for raising their girls and spoiling their boys. So y'all might want to figure that out because we cannot have any more of these broken young black men growing up. It's easier to correct a child than it is to fix a broken adult. So find a magical way that all of your ways work and raise that boy the right way. Because you're not supposed to spare the boy. I don't know what it is about black mamas and their sons. Making them mama's boys and not, no, you got to instill stuff in them. You do. You know, so that was an interesting scene. I was like on both sides on that one. All right, so now we get to the dinner scene. So they're all ordering. I picked up on some tension while they were ordering. I'm like, yo, some of y'all like each other, but most of y'all don't. And then Stacy asked Kay at the table if they're okay. And Kay says they're fine. We had a little chit chat on the plane. We're good. And then Stacy tries to retort with, no, we didn't have a chit chat. You know, you gave me gum, trying to like point out they didn't talk much. But then Kiara is like, well, no, we did because you asked me about Angel. And, you know, and then she broke it down. So, all right, I'll give Kiara a point. She caught what you were trying to do, Stacy. Trying to say y'all didn't talk to bring something to the table when y'all did talk. And so then Angel says, well, the best way to ask about me and find out how I'm doing is to try to get to know me yourself. And then, boom, we go back to what Stacy says. I've tried that. I tried to reach out to you and I didn't get any response. And, you know, we just want to make sure you can be good with us without Kay, you know, being in a situation or, you know, some sort of driving force behind that. Can you exist outside of Kay with us? Can you be good with us? Can you get to know us? And that's a valid question. We're in our 40s. Kay and Ashley, I don't know how old Jossie is, but we're all grown. And Angel, we're all grown. We all got kids. We didn't all have periods and popped human beings out of our puss. We ain't got time to be playing around. Kind of grow up. Angel, grow up too. Stand up, girl. So anyway, so oh, okay, yeah. So they'll get to know. So then Angel says that she felt attacked when they were at Kiara's house by Wendy. So now she's trying to call Wendy out. And then Wendy's like, because I asked you a question, like more or less, like, well, how did you feel attacked because I asked you a question? I don't feel like that was attacking you. I know why she's saying that. It's because her friend has a beef with her. So she's going to magnify anything you do, Wendy, because in turn, she also has a beef with you because her friend has a beef with you. And then Wendy highlights how, there are others in the group that feel the same way, that certain things are just magnified because Kiana has an issue with them. I'm not the only one. Now, Wendy doesn't throw out names because she's not speaking on for everybody, but she's pointing out, like, they see what's going on with Angel. They see it. So then Giselle comes in. Now she brings up the picture from social media. So now it's Giselle's turn. Tag, you're it. So Giselle comes in and she brings up to Angel. And I have an issue with this because they're body shaming her, in my opinion. She's asking her, she's like, I was looking at the pictures and it was kind of a catfish situation because you don't look like you in the same way in your pictures or whatever. And so, hold on. I don't know if I'm coming out with a cold or if it's allergies. Side note, I'm in the South. So if anyone else is in the Southeast like me, because I've spoken to a few people that have spoken about this, there has been like this increase of not quite a cold, maybe allergies. But I have not, at least since I've been living in the Southeast and allergies has been an issue, September has never been a problematic month for me, or October. I don't know what's going on. There's something in the air. I don't know. But sorry, y'all. I just thought I'd bring that up because it's disgusting. But anyway, so Angel says what did she say? She feels like she's something with the table comment. I don't know. Oh, but then Stacy says, as far as the photo edits on Instagram, the filters, she says, let's be honest, we all have been guilty of it here. You get on your picture, you make a tweak here, you make a tweak there, and before you know it, you're all tweaked out. That was funny. And then Ashley says, adding on to Giselle's comment, that it didn't look like her. And like I said, I follow Angel. I looked at some of her pictures. That picture they're bringing up, yes, I can see how they say it's not her. But if you stare real closely, you can tell that's her. She is just gained weight because she's a mother now. She looks about maybe 30, 40 pounds lighter in that picture. And I can see how that could change. Like, if you look at my Instagram photos, if any of you follow me, if you scroll down to maybe circa 2023, top of 2023, and then you look at me now, I look like a totally different person. I was almost 300 pounds circa 2023, top of 2023, and now I've lost a significant amount of weight, and it does change your look drastically. Like, I look maybe like 15 years younger than I did. So I'm going to give Angel grace on that. She may have done a little bit of like photoshopping, but not to the degree they're making it out to be. They're making it seem like she had a full head transplant, like Dorit from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. No, y'all are just picking on that girl. All right, so cuts the commercial, comes back, and then Kiana. Now this is where I was like, that's right, Kiana. Kiana, rise up. Kiana's like, she don't look no different than that picture. That picture resembles her. That is her. And she said there's a couple of people at this table that their pictures don't look like them, so let's not go there. So she was riding for her friend in that moment. And Wendy was talking to Stacy on the side, and then Kiana's like, speak up, Wendy, say it. Now, I don't like Kiana's approach, but I understood what she was saying. She's basically saying, Wendy, put it on the table. Wendy puts it on the table. And I get where she's coming from with this. So basically, Wendy is saying, calling Angel out about how the energy she gives to Giselle versus the energy she gives to Wendy or other people that have an issue with Kiana is very different. And she highlights how hostile Angel became towards Wendy at Kiana's house, and she did. Now, here you have Giselle at this table basically calling her a catfish, attacking, attacking her on her looks because she's gained that baby weight. And Angel is like her disposition is not as assertive. Where I actually feel like Giselle should be catching most of the smoke, because when it comes down to this whole chin check situation, Giselle lit the match and let everything catch on fire. And I've seen Kiana here and there say stop the shit with Giselle and, like cut it out. Now I have seen Kiana do that. But that's where the smoke. If y'all gonna tag team somebody, y'all need to be tag teaming Giselle. But you gotta come correct if you're gonna come at Giselle, because Giselle is a network favorite. She is a Real Housewives of Potomac staple. She's an OG right now on this cast. Currently, it's her and Ashley, but Ashley is so Giselle is a little bit of a heavyweight. That's why the only person that can really go toe to toe with her is Karen and Candace. But like I said before, Candace is a little too heavy with the energy. So I mean, yeah, that's what it is. Instead of going after Giselle, they're gonna go after Wendy. Displace anger. I hate that shit. All right, so Wendy, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, so then Wendy brings up the whole Giselle shading Stacey, with the note and the robe and the embroidery and the lack thereof. And then Giselle explains to Stacey because she doesn't know who Stacey is or whatever. She has a hard time trying to figure out what's going on with her. And, everything she did as far as the notes, those were all symbolic. So she wasn't going to give Stacey anything that she doesn't feel like she has a connection to her. And then Stacey says, well, you know what, Giselle, I feel like you want to hold me to this different standard out of everyone, which is so crazy to me. Like, you want me to be transparent and, accountable for my choices and acknowledge things. But then here you are, you have a whole boyfriend that none of us know about. Now, Giselle kind of got her on that. Giselle was like, that ain't my boyfriend, that's a date. Okay, just because you see me out with a dude don't mean I'm linked up with him. Y'all always want to do that. Say this is my man or whatever. Now, if that was her man, I still of that belief that Giselle will not disclose that, given what happened with her and Sherman. So she's going to safeguard her relationship. But, I mean, Giselle and Stacey both had, valid points. Stacey's like, don't expect something from me that everybody, including you, doesn't give in this group. Giselle's like, well, don't assume that that's what's going on, because that's not what's going on. So I could let both of them have that in that moment. Two things can exist at the same time. All right, so let me see. Oh, and then last one. So then Ashley, I forget who asked, but someone asked the question, everybody raise your hand if you dated a football player or whatever. So I think Jossie raised her hand, Angel, I forgot who all raised their hand. But the reason that question, stood out more is because then you have Ashley come in like, you sure, Stacey, you ain't been out with an NFL player? And then Stacey, she's like, girl, I'm not listening to anything you said. I'm just checking out my wet and wavy. And then Ashley's like, all of a sudden you want to conveniently check out your wet and wavy? Answer the question. You ain't never asked nobody out on or been out on a date with somebody from the NFL? And then Giselle's like, oh yeah, we all know him. And so she goes around the table and tells everybody they met him and they know him. And then Wendy, which, that's my girl, but she does this thing. It's dramatic yell. I can't stand that shit. And even when she was doing it, you could look at Stacey's face. She's like on the side, like, girl, what's this shit? What's she trying to pull out of her hat now? And damn, Wendy, can you calm down? That's the look that Stacey was giving. And so they throw it out on the table. Well, Ashley says, my homegirl told me you tried to talk to Chris Samuels. And then Stacey's like, and then ends the scene. Cuts to the end. So that was the episode, y'all. Oh my gosh. This review is going to be 1 hour and 10 minutes long. And that's because this episode was long. It was like a 1 hour and 15-minute long episode. Plus we had the cameos for my baby. So my bad. But we got it out, right? What did y'all think of the episode? Let me know what y'all think. Is it starting to pick up? If I had to rate this one, I would probably rate it like I'd say a 9.5. Definitely starting to kick up now. So we got some spice getting in there. But another episode to carry the story along. Just a little bit more spicy this week. So can't wait to see what they have in store for us next week. All right. All right, y'all. I need to start getting ready for bed. I still haven't had my dinner. My baby had her dinner, but got to get ready for bed, get ready to do all of this stuff tomorrow. Not another recap, but you know what I mean. Do the whole mommy, professional working mommy thing tomorrow. So on that note, I'm going to leave you guys. All right. Thanks for rocking with me. It's your girl, Mrs. D. Green, and peace and blessings to you. Bye now.